Hello there, welcome back to a Total War Warhammer 3 battle replay. Today we are on Supremacy. I will be leading the Beastmen as per usual, and our opponent is a High Elf player who is led by Imric. He's got some Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers on both sides of the map, backed up by, it looks like, the Fireborn and Illyrian Reavers, some cav just to defend those. A nice front line of Spearmen, some Rangers, White Lions of Crace, and looks like we do have a Mage of Life to support Imric. Now, I do think this was a bit of a mistake on my opponent's part. Maybe they didn't mean to do this. But it looks like only Earthblood was taken. I do believe the spell you want to be taking is Regrowth with Imric, because that's going to regen him an absolute ton of HP. Also, the caster is on foot, which makes that very, very vulnerable. So I don't know if that was a mistake, or if maybe that was the plan they were going for. Regardless, a couple more Illyrian Reaver archers over here. I have a force of Zangor front lines, one Harpy unit, a few Centaur throwing axes, they will always pay dividends, and a nice big ol' herd of Razorgors. I am, as per usual, in love with Razorgors. I think they're one of the best units on the Beastmen roster, especially when you pair them with a unit, or lord like the Doombull. We also have a Bray Shaman caster of Wild, just has the Traderkin there, can't go wrong with that as a Beastman player, and a Jabberslythe as well. Now, as you can see, Razorgor have an insane charge against cavalry. Watch these Illyrian Reavers just melt. They disappear. Super beautiful charge there. The Jabberslythe going off in the background. Illyrian Reavers have already routed, so we're going to then take on these Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Imric does come down with a nice breath spell, but it looks like he was able to only clip a little bit of us. We started moving after his cav got run down, so that worked out pretty well in our favor. We do have our Centaur throwing axes trying to get on Imric, but there's spears in the way. A little bit of a charge that turns into, they're immediately going to try and get out of that engagement, though. Spears are not something we want our Centaur throwing axes to be in. The Jabberslythe is doing a great job of breaking through a lot of that front line. Other than that, it's mainly just some frontline engagements, minor ones here and there. Imric's going to break this side of it. We have left one Razorgor herd in reserve to cap that victory point. Not that that should probably play any aspect into this game. The Illyrian Reavers have, Illyrian Reaver archers have stayed still just a little bit too long, and we were able to collapse on them with some Harpies, Razorgors, that whole herd, doing some decent damage. The Fireborn are here to potentially give us a nice counter charge. Oh, it looks like they're going to catch, actually, these Razorgors. I think my opponent might have clicked off of a charge attack, because I do not think they charged those Razorgor herd, which works out really well for me, because now we're going to get the flank charge, and the Fireborn are in a really tough situation here. Jabberslythe himself also coming over. Doombull is going to come debuff these units. One of the reasons the Doombull works so absolutely incredibly well with Razorgor herd is his dazed contact effect in tandem with his Slaughterer's Call. It's basically a plus 18 melee attack to anything that he's attacking, or to anything that he's with, you know. For example, these Fireborn, I think, are down to... Oh, actually, they're doing really good. They're doing really, really good. Only 52... Well, only. 52 melee defense is nothing to be shabby about. Either way, they got absolutely swarmed by too many Beastmen units, and they are off the field. Looking really good for the Beastmen so far. The front line hasn't fully buckled. We do have a little bit of healing going down. We have brought our our Centaur throwing axes back here to try and get some damage dealt on Imric. He routed off those Razorgor herds. He did take a little bit of damage on his way to do that, and we have been able to collapse on him. Well, it looks like we've tied him up with a single Centaur throwing axe unit. The others are just throwing axes into him, getting really good damage. He's almost down to half HP. The Mage of Life has stayed pretty safe for the most part this battle, but she is not about to stay safe for much longer. The Jabberslythe jumps right on top of her. She doesn't have a horse, so she's an infantry model, and that Jabberslythe does have bonus versus infantry, so she is going to be taking a beating quite quickly. A terror-causing monster. She's not going to last very long, and that will probably put the nail in the coffin of our High Elf player here. If he had a Regrowth that he could cast on Imric here, that would really make a pretty decent difference, I think. He still has a decent amount of infantry on the field, and Imric could potentially 1v1, basically. I mean, he absolutely could 1v1 everything on the Beastmen roster at the moment, but just the fact that we actually have such a numbers advantage, we're able to go and take out that other Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower with the remnants of the Razorgor herd, and they're all going to rout and come back around, and we're going to be able to pretty much clean up what is left of the High Elf forces here. And with that mage routing, I don't know if we're going to be chasing it off. Hopefully we do send someone to chase it off. There's no heals left for Imric. Trader King goes down on him. Not going to get too much value as it's only hitting him, but he is a pretty darn expensive piece, so nothing shabby there. The White Lions of Krace and the Spearmen are all getting routed here as the Jabberslythe with its anti-infantry and its DOT damage effect comes in and just routs him off. My opponent does realize that that is the end of the game, and GG's out. So, pretty quick one, but as are all Beastmen replays, the Doombolt definitely did not pay for himself this game. But, you know, if it had gone longer, maybe we would have got a little more value. The biggest reason I like to bring him, though, is he is a bit more of a durable leader. He's not quite Morgr or Torox, but he also has that really, really nifty debuff and buff ability for his units. So he can just he can make fights very unfair, and I love that about him. Our caster paying for itself. That is just Traderkin in a bucket there. Zangors did fairly well, but their whole job's just to hold the line. Same with these throwing axes. They did get most of their damage value off of just hitting Imric there. Oh, it looks like the Harpies paid for themselves. I think they jumped on that siege engine, and that's why. There's some beautiful Razorgor damage going down right there. 3 units paying for themselves, and then some, and the Jabberslythe doing a pretty decent amount for himself as well. Now, all these numbers kind of gone up if the game had gone longer. Imric is actually doing really good for how long that game was. 1,200 gold value is nothing to be shy about. The Mage of Life not doing anything. Again, I really think my opponent probably meant to bring that Mage of Life on a horse, and with regrowth, I think she would have gotten a lot more value this game if she had done that. Spearmen, obviously nothing to write home about. Rangers did not do very well. White Lions, Krace showed up a little bit, but the cavalry definitely got stomped. And that's basically it. So hopefully you did enjoy that game. I know it was a pretty darn quick one. I haven't been casting too many battles, and I felt like casting one, but I think we'll probably go back to the tips and tricks. Videos will be sparse, I think. Life is just in the way, and this is pretty much a hobby for me. So either way, I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you had fun watching that, and I will talk to you later.